Hello, everyone. I'm Heather Hayes.
And I'm Steve Eager. It's 9 o'clock. Duncanville ISD has really been in damage control mode today. The overwhelming majority of people who have watched the Jeff Bliss video and listened to the teachers' responses have commended him.
Yeah, and the district has made some decisions on disciplinary actions. First tonight on Fox 4 News, Calvert College in Duncanville with more. Calvert.
Well, Heather and Steve, you could probably imagine Jeff Bliss was the most popular student at Duncanville High School today. Tons of kids told me they just wanted to have their picture taken with him. And he'll tell you he's normally a very quiet, likes to fly under the radar kind of student. But that anonymity vanished when he arrived here to claps, cheers, even a standing ovation for airing his grievances to the YouTube world. And surprisingly, the school district supports him.
1 minute and 27 seconds was all it took for Jeff Bliss to get his point across.
You gotta take this job serious. This is the future of this nation.
His tirade went well beyond the hallways of Duncanville High, going viral through social media to news outlets across the country.
Really, it was just a normal day, but when Jeff came, everybody was like, woo, in the hallway. And I just started laughing because I knew what they were screaming for. It was just funny. I actually took a picture with him, too.
While most of the student body hopped on the Jeff Bliss bandwagon, understandably, some teachers didn't, requesting no mention of the video in their classes and telling students to put their phones away. But the Duncanville superintendent puts a positive spin on the PR problem.
And I certainly agree that the student could have handled the situation in a more appropriate way. The content of the message is a conversation we like having in our district because we're all about the engagement of young people in 21st century learning.
Bliss didn't know he was being recorded.
Just getting mad because I'm pointing out the obvious.
His speech went unpunished, but his teacher was put on indefinite paid administrative leave, even though
less than 10 minutes after it occurred, the teacher cared so much about her student that she went down to the office with the assistant principal while someone else watched her class. And they had a conversation in that office with the principal. They came to some agreement, and the student came back to the class later in that same class period.
Dr. Alfred Ray wouldn't confirm if the teacher cursed at Bliss, as he said she did. While she had no previous discipline issues, her paid leave is standard operating procedure for any district employee under investigation.
If we determine that there was any employee misconduct, whether it be the thing that you mentioned or whatever there may have been, then we will deal with that with the appropriate level of consequences, because we're not going to tolerate inappropriate behavior on anyone's part.
And when you come in here, like you did last time, and make a statement about, oh, this is my paycheck, indeed it is. But this is my country's future and my education.
Calvert Collins, Fox 4 News.
All right, Jeff Bliss and his mom Rhonda are with us. Welcome, you two. Thanks for coming down. Yeah. Jeff, earlier I called this like your education manifesto. I don't know if that's true or not, but you'd obviously been, this was not prepared, but you've been thinking about the state of education, it seems. Had you, and why?
Yes. Over the course of about 2 years now, I've gradually noticed that the educational system is failing the student body of this nation. And if we don't approach it and embrace this, we're going to be faced with the same problems that we're facing today.
Have you been holding up your end of it?
I'm going to do my best. I'm human. I have my imperfections. But yes, I will try to stay true to what I am speaking.
Okay, let me ask you something. This morning you met with the principal, I think, right?
Yes.
Did you go to school thinking you were going to be suspended? What did you think would happen?
I did not have a clue what to expect from the principals. The disciplinary actions we still haven't even discussed, or even had any kind of talk about. But tomorrow I am going in to give a statement and write it down, so that way we can kind of clear up the air and bring out what really started it off.
Okay. Mom, Rhonda, tell me, you're a teacher.
Yes.
Your first reaction, I know you probably saw the YouTube video. I know Jeff told you something happened, and then this YouTube video you found out about. When you watched that, what did you think?
At first I was a bit numb, and I watched
For what reason?
Numb. You're not quite sure what your child is going to say.
Okay.
And so you're a bit anxious, and I watched it. And after I watched it the first time, I said, let me see it again. And I was dissecting the whole 1 minute and however many seconds it was, to really hear what he was saying. Not so much just saying, oh, we shouldn't have done that, but to really focus in on what was the true bottom line for him in saying what he was saying.
I think I had some comments on my Facebook page. This is, one of them was, you had me when you said, this is my education. I do think that was one of the things where people appreciated that you seem to now, although you had dropped out in the past, now you care.
Yes.
Right? Am I putting words in your mouth, or is that it?
Yeah, that is exactly the case. You know, when I had dropped out and decided to come back, I was determined to do better for myself, to build that future. Because before, when I had dropped out, I didn't have a dream. I didn't have a vision looking in 5-10 years from now. And when I think of that, I imagine how many other students out there in this country are faced with the same thing. And this is one of the key points, is when making a point like this, it's not just my education, it's our education. And if we embrace this, I feel as if we can make a serious change and a positive change. But if we just want to ignore and push this to the side, then I expect to see the same problems again and again.
I think some of the comments, some people have been concerned, and Mom, you can weigh in on this too. Does this open the door to kids getting up and screaming at their teachers all over the world because Jeff has literally become famous for it? And are you concerned about that? I mean,
I would hope that those kids throughout the entire world that have seen this video would look at it and realize that he did not lose control. He kept himself composed, and he stayed on the issue. It wasn't a personal attack, and therefore, I'm hoping that when kids see that, that's what they take away. This does not give you the right to stand up and flail because you have a bad day.
Right. Kids get jealous of fame, though. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if people try it. You know, and I know that wasn't your intention. Let me go through a few things. Jeff, did you know that kid was recording you?
No.
Not at all?
No, I didn't know.
It looked like he was trying to hide it at times. When you kind of looked at him and he pointed it down a little bit. What got you out of your seat? She tossed you out, but it sounded like she cursed. Was she cursing at another kid? Quit your rhymes with ditching? And then is that
she had stated that to me.
to you? Okay.
And after that, I had said there was no need for that, you know, that language. And at that time, she said, just get out of my class.
I don't know. Media attention help or hurt? What do you think?
If we take it in the right way, it can help. But if we decide to take it in the wrong way, it'll cause nothing but problems.
I talked to the superintendent today. I told you that. And he said you guys, you and the teacher, 10 minutes later had a meeting in the office and you got together and everything is cool, and you know, he didn't quite say hugged it out, but that's what it seemed like happened. Is that an accurate portrayal? Did you talk to the teacher after? I mean, is that
we had talked, and you know, she had said she wanted to clear it up. In my interpretation, I felt more as if she was just trying to protect herself from being put in a position where she might be getting affected in her job.
So in your opinion, it wasn't resolved?
I don't think she truly meant to resolve it. I think it was just to protect her own self.
What happens if she gets fired? Will you feel bad?
Feel bad? No. Would I hope that maybe this has taught her to be aware of what needs to happen? That is what I hope. I hope that not just her, but also other teachers out there embracing this.
Mom's squirming a little bit, right? Yeah, just a little bit. I get the feeling you don't want to see her fired.
I really do not wish to see anybody lose their job, because education should be the process of getting better and getting smarter about how you do things, why you do things, the way you do things. And from that standpoint, I'm hoping that it all works out well for everyone.
For everybody, all right.
Right.
And more important is also for the students to
Going
want to do better. You know,
Right.
that's also another key, because it's not just the teachers, it's the students too. You get what you give.
All right, Jeff. Bliss, Rhonda, thank you
you.
very much. Thanks for
Thank
coming
you.
down. Good luck to you.
Welcome.
Now, we do want to know what you think about this, the decision to make a stand in class. Like us on Facebook. You can give us